everybody, and welcome to another tutorial by yours truly, Rose the Equine. So this tutorial is going to be how to make stencils, and I'm going to try and get this done as comfortably as humanly possible. So, what you're going to need is, let me just, I'm getting there. Alright, so if I just go to paint 1, and if I go... Just ignore what I'm doing right now. I'm just setting up everything for stencil making. Oh, this thingy, which I'll show you. I will make a custom stencil map for you guys to make it considerably easier for you guys to make your stencils. And you don't have to. You'll see what I mean. It's gonna be so much easier. Anyway. So, you need, obviously, Sims 4 Studio, and a lot of brain power. I've already got a stencil made up, so I'm going to open this. I will put this up on my website, so you could use this as your blanket stencil, as to skip a few steps and make it easier for yourself, so you don't have to find these stencil layers in the in the game file cruiser. So without further ado, let's go. So what you're first wanting to do is obviously open up the stencil package that you would have downloaded, that I would have given you. And then you want to go to Tools, Hash Generator. This is very important. So you want to type in anything. So today we're going to call it Bob the Blob. And you want to select this one here, the FNV64. So we're going to Control C. We're going to go to our pet pelt layer, and we're going to head over to our, where is it? Instance. And then we're going to Control V and paste that in there. We're going to do the same in our texture key and in our thumbnail key. However, the last letter of this hash needs to be changed, and this is key for later. So I'm going to change that. So it says C there, A, B. So that one's going to be D, and that one's going to be E. So now that that is done, we'll move over to our RLE2 image, go to Data, and, okay, wait, rewind. So before we go there, right, we're going to go to our texture key, which we just changed the last letter of to D instead of C. We're going to Control C. We're going to go to RLE image 2, go to Data, change the instance to that one. So we just copy and pasted our texture key to the instance of the RLE2. Now, our thumbnail key, we're going to Control C. We're going to click on our DST image and replace that instance with the thumbnail key, which we changed the last letter to E. You can do whichever, so that's how it goes. If we can run that again, or you could reverse the video, whichever. I'll probably run it again just in case. Anyway, so now we want to obviously make our new stencil. We don't want this, we want Bob the Blob. So we're going to go into any image editor that can handle layers. I am a personal fan of Autodesk because it's got my cheat sheet. So when I say my cheat sheet, I'm just going to get rid of that layer. I mean this doohickey, but it's got this lovely thing here so you can move it around and make symmetrical markings. So Bob the Blob is literally going to be a blob. So I'm going to use my paintbrush tool, change it to white, and I've mirrored it. I'm going to add a new layer. So I'm just gonna slap this here like this. Just for now, don't worry about making it extra neat. We're just doing a sample. Now, you want to already have, so for this you need a black background, which I've already created, which would be a new layer underneath. So it's always black background, this white on top. Now, I always hide this UV map layer, just in case. Then I file, save, go away. File, save as, and then Bob the, yeah, that, Bob the what? Oh no. So I'm going to save that as a PNG. Now here are the really important steps, because if you don't follow this next step, your game will crash. It took me a while to figure that out. You will need GIMP. I know, it's not the best. It's not the best, but it's the best. Because we need it for what we're about to do. Because it's the only thing that does this like this. GIMP is amazing. It stopped my game crashing. And I was very happy about that. So, if we file, and we open, go desktop, there's our PNG that we created. We're going to export it as the same name, but we select file type, scroll down, change it to a DDS image, export. Now here's really important. Compression, none, format. Make sure you change that to L8. This is very, very, very important. To L8. The rest should be like this, and if this looks the same, you export. Now that it is exported, it's become a little thing here. We will import that over. Here we go. So we now have Bob the Blob, or Bob Brother Le Bodge. Okay, so we need obviously our lovely thumbnail. So we're gonna export that, and we're gonna Bob the Blob. I just call that Blob the Blob. You know what? It is what it is. Anyway, so because I don't need my other image editor for that, I'm just gonna open this directly into my thingamajiggy, into my GIMP, paint over that, and I'm just gonna give it a nice blob in the middle. Like, oh yes, there's blah 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 blah. So we're going to export that again. DDS image. Make sure L8 is the format. Export that. Go back to our thingamajiggy, our Sims 4 Studio. Where is Bob? Bob. Okay. So I'm not going to save it like so. Save as. I'm going to save it directly in my mod. So I'm going to go Bob the Blob, and we're going to test it in game. I need to like open my game. In the meantime, let's run that one more time before we test it. So now I'm going to make a proper marking. So I go to my. So this is if you want to make another one now, but using the same. Go away! Oh, what did I just do? I just dragged my username out of its thing. Did I kill something? Okay. So, say you don't want to close any of this, and you're like, oh, I just really want to create like, you know, multiple, one after the other. That's fine. We can do that too. You just need to stay here. We've got Bob the Blob. We just need to go back to hash generator and call it anything, literally anything. We're going to select this one again, Control C. Go back to our instance, Control V, and then do the same to these guys. So I'm going to call this 1, replace the F with 1, and replace the second one 2. So the texture key has always got to be the same for the RLE2 instance. So the texture key and the RLE2 instance need to match. And then the thumbnail key needs to match with obviously the DST image, which is our thumbnail. So I hope that made sense. Now I'm just going to go into GIMP. Let's just